Welcome back, everybody. It's Jeff again with J&K Stay in Vegas with another episode of Walk with Jeff. Today, as you can see, we have the Bellagio right in front of us. And normally I would stand right in front of the Bellagio, but we have F1 installation going on. And I thought it would be a good idea to show you how long it's going to take from about the middle of the strip to walk to Fontainebleau. I see a lot of people online saying it's way too far. It is a little far, but we're going to see how far it is. And so this video might be longer than a half hour, but I'm going to point out a whole bunch of stuff along the way. So without further ado, I'm going to get the stopwatch going here. And hopefully you can see that there. And here we go. I have the wide angle lens on today, like we did the Caesars Forum shops. So allow you to see even more. And again, these videos, everybody, are in 4K HDR. So if you have a compatible TV, like an OLED TV, that does that, make sure you turn on those YouTube settings because YouTube does not default to that. We're going to go this way. Some of this stuff will be very familiar if you've been watching our live streams on Saturday nights. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you on this walk to obviously show you how far Fontainebleau is from the middle of the strip. Because the way people describe it, and these are people that have probably been to Vegas once in their life, and they act like Fontainebleau's in the middle of the desert. So we really like the property, and I thought, well, what better way to show you how far it is than to actually walk it from about the middle of the strip, because you're probably going to see the Bellagio. So I figured this might be a good place to start. We have an absolute beautiful day today here in the first part of October. We have partly cloudy skies. We may get a little rain. So far it's held off. We could use the rain though. And also the wide angle lens will give you a lot more to look at and a lot more to see, as we have the Cromwell right in front of you. And soon in 2026, not sure exactly when, but that's going to be Vanderpump, as in Lisa Vanderpump. Hey. So this video is really for all of you that want to get out and walk. Of course, you could take rideshare. That's going to be some money. And if you take rideshare, to be honest, rideshare is going to take a long time, especially, say, a Saturday night on the strip. You're going to have a lot of traffic. So a walk might be a lot better to take advantage of. So I got to walk by all this, because this music will probably give us a copyright, but we'll see. If you're still hearing this, then I was able to block it out. But we're going down here, standing on the, I should say walking on the right side of the strip, the eastern part of the strip. And what I'm doing is I'm actually avoiding as many street crossings as possible, because if you go up on that side, on the Caesar side, you have to wait for traffic, but on this side, you don't. So trying to give you the kind of the most picturesque and at the same time give you kind of the fastest way to get to Fontainebleau. Now along the way, you can obviously, got a pigeon here that won't move. You can see which hotels we pass by, and you can see on the time elapsed on this YouTube video about how long it takes. So if you want to come down here to Flamingo, that'd be a pretty short walk, about 5 minutes. So even if you don't want to walk all the way to Fontainebleau, you maybe want to walk to Venetian, so you'll be able to see how long that takes.
Flamingo. See you right here.
Now normally this side has a little bit of a disadvantage because the sidewalks are narrower, but on the other side they're doing construction over there on a new day club at Caesars. So especially during the time of F1 installation, there's stuff everywhere, unfortunately. But I think this will give you a really good idea of this travel distance. Now we tell you not to make the tourist mistake by thinking that a hotel is closer than it appears to be. But this is not that video. This is to actually show you how long it takes. Now there's a couple other options besides rideshare, obviously. You got the Deuce bus. You can get a Deuce pass for 20 bucks for 3 days. Or you can take the monorail. The monorail goes all the way to Sahara from MGM Grand. The only disadvantage of the monorail is it runs in the back of all the properties. So you're going to do a fair amount of walking, especially if you want to go to any of the hotels on the west side of the strip, like Caesars. So keep that in mind. Plus this way you get a view of all the hotels along the way. This happens to be the LINQ Promenade, where they have a lot of restaurants and everything here.
It's just for fun.
In the middle of the day on the strip, you're always dodging a lot of people. We are getting into the best time of year to visit Las Vegas. That is the fall. Although F1 has kind of put a little bit of a damper on that because of all the installation of the race lighting and all of that. Now the race lighting isn't on this side of the strip. It's another reason why I brought you on this side. Each side has its advantages, especially if you like taking pictures the first time you're visiting. You probably want to get a nice picture of yourself with your group in front of whatever hotel that you've heard about. And if you just stumbled upon our video, we're locals here to Vegas. We're J&K. I'm Jeff. Christina is sometimes in our videos. And yeah, we're locals. So we try to give you that local perspective. Try to give you the tips. And the Walk with Jeffs are kind of like that, where I'm not just walking aimlessly around. I'm showing you, like in this case, how long it takes to get to, say, Fontainebleau from the middle of the strip. our last walk with Jeff was from the Venetian, say like the Venetian lobby, to the Sphere. Because there's a lot of pathways to take, and that might be overwhelming, intimidating. So if you're coming to Vegas and you're going to see a show at the Sphere, which you definitely should, because it's unbelievable. We did a Wizard of Oz, and you check that out on our channel. It's absolutely fantastic. If you want to avoid the heat, suggest going right through Harris here. It's a straight shot. It parallels the walkway here on this side. But I want to show you outside. I don't want to show you inside. We have plenty of tours, hotel tours on our channel. They're in a playlist called Where's My Coffee, Where's My Room? And I've said it before, but if you're new here again, it's basically when you've been partying all night in Vegas and you need that cup of coffee, where's the closest cup of coffee you can get to your hotel room? So that's kind of the thought process on that. And some things you may not know, especially if you're not on our live stream, that is going to be the new Hard Rock over there, where the Mirage once sat. They are taking down the original sign there. It's a little sad, but this Hard Rock guitar, and they've already started filling in the glass for it. They have some blue down here, and now they're starting some yellow up there. So apparently, like one in Florida, they have light shows on here. And this building is absolutely huge. It's going to dominate the Strip and make the other Mirage towers look small. And those original Mirage towers are staying. They're not getting imploded. They're renovating the rooms and all that. So don't you worry about that. And also, if you've been keeping up on our newscasts, they were doing a big auction for a lot of the items that were in the Mirage. And they pulled at the last second the mermaids as you'd walk into the hotel. They actually pulled those, and the Hard Rock is going to have a nice little area as a homage to the Mirage. So that's really cool. Casino Royale, no resort fees. With everything going on, you know, visitation numbers down. Hotels and casinos are starting to make those deals. So stay tuned to our newscast, like I said, so you can keep up to date on everything happening here in Vegas, because there's a lot. See how much we're building up here, and all the different specials that are going on, so we keep you covered on all of that. Treasure Island over there used to be a sister property with the Mirage, owned by Steve Wynn. Now he has no investment in either hotel anymore. Elaine Wynn passed not too long ago, and I was fortunate enough to capture Elaine Wynn making one last tour around the Mirage floor. And I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. If you want to see what that kind of was like, it's on our social media, on our TikTok and our Instagram at jkstayinvegas. All the social media platforms, including the new Blue Sky for jkstayinvegas. Real easy to find us. And like I was telling you earlier, I'm pointing out some things that may be new to you. This right here is Five Guys. This is a huge Five Guys in here. This used to be a Sephora at one point, but now it's a Five Guys. Venetian, of course, here. You can take these moving walkways. They'll get you up to the top over there. Give you a really nice view, speaking of taking pictures, selfies, and all that. Highly recommend you just take those walkways right up there. We sometimes take those on our live streams, so make sure to join us on Saturday nights. We usually start around 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Wintertime might be more like 5 or 6. So we'll just see what happens. But again, turn on all your bell notifications. That will alert you to all of our new videos, or when we go live, like we do on those Saturday nights. And that way you don't miss anything. And of course, subscribing is absolutely free. Now this is one that we do have to stop at. So you may want to subtract, say, a minute while we let this traffic go. And please, please watch the don't walk and walk symbols, because it can really catch you off guard. Like this guy, don't do it. See, cars are coming through and you think, oh, they'll just stop. No, they won't. There's a lot of traffic. You just don't want to assume anything. So wait for the walk symbol before you go across the street. And of course, the sister property, Palazzo. Again, if you want to see how long it takes to get to the Sphere from Venetian, definitely check out that last Walk with Jeff video. I'll give you a step-by-step guide as to how to get there. And if you've seen on social media where that display is with Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, and Toto, I show you exactly where that is. It's a little bit off from where you walk exactly to the Sphere. Give you some tips along the way, as I always like to do. Of course, you have the gondolas, outdoor gondolas and indoor gondolas. They are different. They don't go back and forth. If you want some crazy shakes, Black Tap is over there in the corner. They literally have a slice of cake on top of your shake. Crazy. Speaking of where's my coffee, where's my room? They put a new Starbucks in here. I was saying on that walk, I think there's 3 or 4 on the Venetian property alone. It's also like a coffee bean. So if you don't want Starbucks, there's some different options as well. These showgirls do not work for any hotel. Keep that in mind.
Here? Oh.
They work completely independently. But if you want to get a picture with them, make sure that you agree upon a price up front. See how these people are walking against the red? You don't want to do that. Now they got lucky here. But what'll happen is you think it's clear, but people are coming from that side, from Treasure Island, especially taxis that cross over from Treasure Island into Palazzo, rideshare and taxi area. So all those things make your trip a little bit better. So keep that in mind. And then you'll do Vegas like a pro. It's a little humid today. We finally broke our summer heat wave. Temperature right now is about 83 degrees. And see, you can just see Resorts World coming into view. And it looks so close, doesn't it? But we still got a little bit of ways to there, and Fontainebleau is just a little bit after that. And if you're wondering, like, well, how fast are you walking, Jeff? I do walk a little bit on the faster side. So if you have some mobility issues, you may want to add a couple extra minutes for that. And again, you do have the option of the Deuce bus, which is really cheap, but you got to sit in the traffic with all the rest of the people too. And again, the monorail. You can actually take the monorail to the West Gate and just walk a block west and you'll hit Fontainebleau. So there's not a dedicated stop for Fontainebleau. Bizarre Meat over here. Normally you can see inside, but it looks like they have shades up for the sun. Also could be just that they're, I believe maybe on the weekends they're 11 a.m., but they're primarily like a steakhouse, you know, open about 4 or 5 o'clock in the late afternoon. There's Wakuda. Along the way, we're going to see the Sphere, albeit from a little bit of a distance. And if you see all this F1 track lighting and everything, if you want to keep up to date on all that, and I was showing you the Hard Rock going up there. There's also the A's ballpark that's going in the former Tropicana site. So if you want to keep up on all of that, I have a semi-regularly video that's on the latest construction projects happening here in Vegas. So some may affect you, some may not. F1, unfortunately, if you're not a fan, this goes up about a week after Labor Day weekend, and it comes down about a week before Christmas. Now that is 2 weeks early, 1 week on the in and 1 week on the out earlier, than they have in the past. So they're at least trying to do that, but they put that VIP grandstand that you saw in the beginning of the video, that went up real quick. And a couple of years past, they at least waited on that because that's a very popular place for people to visit. Now, if you want to see the fountains, you got to do it from the side or way up by the drop-off where Bellagio is. So you can't get that quintessential center shot of the fountains. There's Wynn and Encore. And there's another entrance here to Palazzo. It is a little humid on a day like this. I said earlier it's partly cloudy. You can see some of the clouds. We have a storm coming in. But like most weather reports, as I'm sure you're familiar with in your own hometown, they're not always exactly accurate. There's Orby over there. You'll find a lot of people will take a picture through the glass over here. Go down, I'll show you, this escalator, and you get a perfect picture with nobody in it, with you and little Orby, the sphere. And yes, that's what the sphere is called. Or at least that little emoji guy that they have on the sphere. He does a whole bunch of little expressions and everything. I'm sure you've seen on social media. This area right here at the Wynn is really nice. Got some nice shade with the trees. But I'm not going to go all the way down to my spot that I was just telling you about, but just show you where you can get that picture for the sphere. So if you turn down here, I've shown it on our live stream. So again, definitely check that out. But you can walk right down there, take a picture with the sphere right behind you. All right, let's continue on so we can kind of get a gauge of how long this walk to Fontainebleau is. And drop a comment below. Oh, interrupt myself. There's the Zooks right there. I've taken that a couple times on the live stream. So if you want to see what that's like, definitely check out those videos, those live streams. In fact, I have a live stream. The thumbnail is of that too. Just a beautiful area here at the Wynn. So if you want to visit here from, say, the Bellagio, we're about at 25 minutes. Granted, we did stop for a couple of lights, but that actually might be good because you might be walking a little slower, so it may all balance out in the end. If you need to do any clothes shopping or anything like that, fashion show is over here. It's a absolutely huge mall.
It's going to be really soft.
So see, Resorts World, we're still not there. It's getting closer, but we're still not there. And that's the way it goes. The strip proper, we'll just call it from Mandalay Bay on the south end to the Strat, is about 4 miles. Of course, if you didn't know, Las Vegas Boulevard goes way south, way past the M Resort, and goes way north as well. So Las Vegas Boulevard isn't just the Strip. It is a very, very long boulevard. Speaking of which, there is a new, you wouldn't call it a mall. It's like an entertainment complex. It's called Boulevard. It's right across the street from City Center. And there's going to be a flagship in and out there. If you want to see all the details of what's going on, they're still getting tenants in there, signing leases and all that, but I've got some really cool inside information. You can check that out on our channel. Just search for BLVD, as in Boulevard. Now, don't get it confused, because off to the east, there is an actual Boulevard Mall. That is not it. And it's all spelled out B-O-U-L-E-V-A-R-D. Hopefully I spelled that right. But if you're staying at Aria, it's right across the street. Right below the Wynn there. Getting a nice sunburst there. Over here, for all of our Vegas history nerds, right over there is where the Frontier became the new Frontier. That land is still vacant to this day. And where Resorts World is currently used to be the Stardust. So it's another thing that we do on our live streams to kind of keep it, a little different than all the other live streams you see. I put in pictures, like classic Vegas pictures, and where I can, line them up with present day. And I happen to think that's cool. And when I've done it on our live streams, a lot of people really, really like it. Because if you're even a semi-visitor to Las Vegas, you may have come to Vegas in the 70s or the 80s or the 90s, even the 2000s. Even from the early 2000s, Vegas has changed so much. Of course, now that's 25 years ago. So, yeah, you probably have memories, and you may not know exactly where things are. So you may go, wait a minute, where was the Desert Inn? Well, ironically, we're walking right past it. It's where the Wynn and Encore used to be. Desert Inn was in this location. And just like that ballpark for the A's going up right now, the former Tropicana site. We were front row for that implosion. And another video you can check on our channel. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is that we have a lot of videos, something for everybody. Hotel tours, like I said, where's my coffee, where's my room, walk with Jeff's, which again, I try to give you a walk that's informative. Sometimes it's a nice stroll. But for example, you may be staying way down there at the Rio, and you may think, God, how long does it take to walk from the Rio to the Strip? Well, I show you and tell you. There's Encore. So yeah, you'll just want to adjust accordingly, and you can check out the times on this video to see where I'm getting to and how many minutes. But we're going to make the Fontainebleau our destination. These Walk with Jeffs are normally 30 minutes, but this one obviously will be a little bit longer than that. And now we can just see the Fontainebleau coming into view. Encore Beach Club over here. But we're going to keep heading down here. Used to be so many of those little small hotels that dotted the whole Las Vegas Strip, like the Algiers, Thunderbird, all of those, including the Rancho La Concha. If you remember any of those hotels or you stayed in them, please drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your past stories of where you used to stay. Maybe it was Stardust across the street where Resorts World is. Maybe it was Desert Inn right here where Wynn and Encore is. So let us know. We're curious because we know a lot of you have been coming here for years. And again, we love that Vegas history probably just as much as you do. And yeah, comment below and let us know. So speaking of Resorts World, we're still not there. We've seen it for probably about 15 minutes now, and we're still not in there. So I wouldn't recommend doing this walk, say, in July, especially, say, at this time of day, in the middle of the day. It's just way too hot. That sun, like even today is a beautiful day. There's a little bit of a breeze. It's absolutely beautiful. But when you got the sun right on you in these walkways, it feels a lot hotter. And especially if we've got a monsoon coming in like we do right now, you'll have some humidity. So you've always heard the cliche, well, it's a dry air. Vegas, it's a dry air, so it's not as hot, which is true. But not right now or when we have monsoons. We typically have monsoons in the summertime, which is a nice temporary relief. So this one's a little late. I guess it's left over from a hurricane that was down in Baja California, somewhere down there. So we're getting the remnants of that. Parts of Arizona, I think, are going to probably get hit more than us.
So I want to cross the street and like zoom in from across the street.
There's actually a Encore. There's an Encore Tesla pickup over there. So if you want to take the Tesla Underground, there are just a few stops as of now. You have Encore here, and you have Resorts World. Wait for these people. Resorts World. The convention center has 2 stops, and that's about it for right now. Encore being the newest station. They're just about to come through right down there by Virgin, believe it or not. And they've been working on that one for a while. Eventually, there's going to be stops all over the place, and that'll be kind of nice because in the middle of the summer, you don't have to deal with the heat. And that'll be another way that you can get around Vegas. But you know, sometimes the walk is really good. And maybe you're one of those early risers and you want to get out when there's far less people like there is now. And you can have a very delightful walk, walking to Fontainebleau from Bellagio, and get your exercise in before the day starts. Typically see a lot of runners in the early morning, getting that nice Vegas view. I'm going to take this way, see how that's just a small sidewalk. I'm going to go down over here. Little birdie taking a bath. Tacos El Pastor is right over here. And right down there, you've probably heard of it. Another famous Mexican food restaurant that's been there for years, Tacos El Gordo. I personally think it's a little bit overrated, but I'm from San Diego, so we have really good Mexican food. Of course, like I said before, we live here now. Almost 13 years we've been here. This little shopping center has been here for years. Sometimes I'll show you a picture of what this used to look like. And remember I was talking about Boulevard Entertainment Complex? It had a whole bunch of these stores here. And having Boulevard there really made that area so much better, actually. That is one construction project that didn't replace a hotel, but probably a very well that it replaced some of those kind of cheap souvenir stores because they kind of attracted let's just say, a not so great crowd. So here we go. We're going to keep walking. Convention Center is down there. And as I've been showing you, Resorts World. Now also, the Tesla Underground doesn't go all night, at least not yet. It usually goes from about 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., but even right now I see the gates are locked, and that's usually one way they go through. But I believe it's open because they have the underground that goes right underneath us. But it does not run all night, just so you know. Silver City Plaza. Used to be the Silver City Casino across the street. It's kind of why this is named that. There's a Ross down here if you so dare to go in there. And I mean that because it's usually chaos in there. That is, I believe, the third one on the strip. There is one down there by the M&M store, and just a block away where at 63, where Ocean Prime is, all that, with the art museum, right next to City Center. There's one there, and there's one here. So if you need to go to Ross, and you're at this part of the strip, or you're staying at Resorts World, here it is. And a very, very famous restaurant, coffee shop, that I'm sure you've heard about. This is the Peppermill. Peppermill has been here for decades. You can see that fireside lounge is open. It's a really cool, vibey back area. Kind of reminds you of a, let's just say, an adult club. But it's really cool. You can get drinks back there. I'm not sure if they bring you food. I think that they have, that's right, they have their own like snack appetizer menu. And who remembers what was in this location right here? It's been sitting empty for a little while. Do you remember what was here? If you do, leave me a comment below. Finally, Fontainebleau is coming into view. Rhyme was intended. Don't do this. Jaywalking is very dangerous here, especially on the Strip. You never know if somebody's, not all together, maybe had a little too much partying, say, going on. You definitely don't want to do that. Plus, cops will ticket you because it's definitely not safe. So you may think in your own hometown that, oh, I can just cross over here to make a quick jaunt. I don't want to wait for the light. Please do so. It's only a couple of minutes. And there is Circus Circus. Been here since the 60s. Slots O Fun there next to it. Still there to this day. This McDonald's has been renovated over the years, but that McDonald's in that location has been there forever. And right next to it, I can speak, right next to it used to be the Westward Ho. Speaking of Vegas history. You can now see the Strat coming into view. We're not going that far. We're going to go to that guy right there. We have stayed there 2 different times. Once by myself, did a review, and second time was with Christina. She actually did that whole video. We had a little mini suite. Want to see what that looks like? You can definitely check out those videos on our channel. We got, like I said, so much content. There's definitely something for everyone, and you can definitely binge watch, especially like our Where's My Coffee, Where's My Room. I do walks everywhere from Red Rock to Boulder Station, completely 2 sides of the valley, and even in the northwest, Santa Fe Casino, and way in the south, South Point. So all those hotels and everything in between, it's a playlist of 40-some videos. So you can definitely spend your weekend just checking those out. Especially if you are coming here, and again, it can be a little intimidating with everywhere you got to walk and you think, well, how do we get there? How long does it take? What's there? Those are the videos for you. And even right there of Circus Circus, did a Where's My Coffee, Where's My Room with that? And of the Strat, and of the Sahara. You see where I'm going here. Even the new Durango Casino, we were there for the opening of that. And we were here at midnight for the opening of Fontainebleau. So if it's happening in Vegas, we got you covered. So here we are. We're just right on the outside. And right now, almost 43 minutes to the Fontainebleau. We've waited for a couple of lights here and there. If you want to, you can add 1 more minute to get into Fontainebleau proper. But Fontainebleau gets a lot of hate. I don't know why. They get a lot of things in the press because they change out executives and whatnot. But both times, we had an absolutely wonderful time. Staff was extremely nice. And their food hall upstairs, for Vegas prices, is pretty reasonable. Capone's Burgers up there has got a really good burger, decently priced, again for Vegas terms. And I say you check it out. You don't have to go all fancy. They've got some good stuff up there, good milkshake there too. So anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of Walk with Jeff. We'll just make it official. We're like at 44 minutes here. And thank you for, hopefully you've tuned in to the very end here. If you did, let's see. I'm looking at Slots O Fun. If you made it all the way to the end, put slots in the comment section below. That way we know you watched to the end. And we really appreciate all of you that did. We appreciate all of our subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? It's actually free. So hit thumbs up on this video, subscribe. It's right next to that thumbs up. And again, as mentioned earlier, turn on all those bell notifications that can alert you to all of our new videos and our live streams. All right, everybody, from a very pretty Las Vegas Strip in October, stay safe and stay silly. Bye-bye, everybody.